Hi guys, welcome back to heisapro. Get ready to take your design skills to the next level. We are now moving into the intermediate phase where you unlock new creative possibilities, refine your craft, and edge closer to becoming a pro designer. If this is your first time here, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification icon to be updated on future content. So at the beginner phase, we understood the fundamentals of CorelDRAW and mastered its essential tools. Additionally, we learned object manipulation techniques, image manipulation, and other valuable skills, providing a solid foundation for further creative exploration. In this tutorial, we will look at our very first flyer design. I will guide you step by step on how to recreate this company flyer design template. I have also included links to all the resources and assets used in this design tutorial in the video description below. Without any further delay, let's get started. The standard flyer size is 8.5 by 11 inches, which is the same as a letter size piece of paper. So if you come up here to page size, we can select letter. And as you can see here, we have 8.5 by 11 inches. But since this is just a flyer template design, we will use its custom size for the page. So we select the flyer. Then let's come up here to object size and copy the width. We do the same thing to the height. To recreate this flyer design, we will start by identifying and drawing the basic shapes and colored elements that make up the composition. This would be the foundation of our design. We start by drawing a rectangle that matches the dimensions and proportions of the original flyer design. Next, we draw rectangles for the colored elements, convert them to curves, and adjust the nodes and curvy arrows to match the initial layout of the elements. So let's proceed with that. You can always press Alt Q to toggle between snap to and snap off. Now, instead of always going to the color palette to give the object a specific outline color, you can deselect all the objects, then right click on that particular color. And here, make sure graphic is selected. Then click on OK. Down here at the status bar, we see that the default outline color is red. The same rule also applies to a default fill. Now that we are done with the elements, the next step is to power clip them inside the rectangle shape that we drew for the original flyer design. But first, let's group the elements together. Then while holding on to the shift key, we select the top element and press Ctrl G on your keyboard to group them together. Next, press Ctrl C to copy the elements. Then power clip it inside the rectangle. Then let's edit the contents of the power clip. So you delete the elements, then press Ctrl V to paste them in their original location. So as you can see, we have a blueprint for the flyer. Now that the design elements are in place, let's focus on customizing the logo and text content in the flyer. Let's send the original bitmap image of the flyer template to the front. Hold on to the Alt key on your keyboard, then press Shift Page Up. Let's now zoom into the logo. The logo features a custom font design where each letter is intricately embedded within themselves. So we can just search for the particular font, then we create the logo. So let's break the text apart, convert them to curves. Next, let's put the letter C in place. Then let's select the contour tool and create a contour. So we break them apart, select the contour, select the eye, then click on trim, then delete the contour. Next, let's combine the two objects together. And just like that, we have our logo. But what if we have a situation where the font is not available? What do we do next? Since we have a bitmap image, we can also trace part of its content to a vector object. Let's draw a rectangle across the bitmap image, enclosing the logo. Next, while holding on to the Shift key on your keyboard, you select the bitmap image, then come up here and select Intersect. Now we can delete the rectangle and move the bitmap image of the logo aside. The next thing we'll do is to convert the bitmap image to another bitmap image. So let's go to bitmaps, convert to bitmap, then select OK. Now let's trace the bitmap image to a vector object. So go to trace bitmap, outline trace, then select line art. And as you can see, this is very inefficient. We have so many node points and rough curves. Let's look at another way to effectively trace the bitmap image of the logo. So we select the image, then go to bitmaps, convert to bitmap, then change the color mode to grayscale. Ensure that detailed is selected and click on OK. Next, let's go back to bitmaps, mode, then select black and white. Ensure that line art is selected in the conversion method and adjust the threshold to your preference. So we can now go back to trace bitmap, outline trace, then select line art. So let's ungroup all the objects. As you can see, this is more efficient with less node points and smoother curves. So let's just stick with the original font logo. We can also follow the same procedure for the text, but let's just use the fonts instead. Since it's the same font we have here, we can just hit the top one and edit the words. So we press Ctrl R for right alignment. The next thing we'll do is to select the shape tool to reduce the spacing between the words. This time, press Ctrl L for left alignment. So you can just draw a small rectangle for this element. And for the remaining text, you can just type them out. As you can see, our flyer is coming together nicely. We now move on to the icons. If the icons are not ready available, you can always trace them from the original bitmap image just like we did earlier. But let's import the icons and trace them out. So let's start with the telephone icon. Let's move on to the envelope icon. But as you can see, it's not very clear, so you can just manually trace it out. We now move on to the venue icon. And finally, the message icon. Now that the text and icons are in place, let's give the elements their respective fields. We want the elements to have the exact fields of the original flyer design. So we select it, then copy it. Next, we send it to the back. Then we select the flyer blueprint, then edit its content. And now let's paste the copy of the original flyer design. So we would use this as a reference when giving the elements their respective colors. Now make sure the elements are ungrouped. Then let's select our color eyedropper tool and sample colors from the original flyer design. Since this is a gradient field, we will need to sample two colors from it. So you select the interactive field tool and come up here to fountain field. This particular element also has a gradient field, so we just copy the field of the top element. Now, this particular element has three distinctive fields, so we need to sample three colors. We now select all the elements and remove the outline to give it a neater look. We can now adjust the colors of the text and icons. So when we delete the original flyer design underneath, we see that what's left is just the image. And finally, for the image, we can place a copy of the original flyer design in the power clip of the flyer blueprint. So let's edit the content of the power clip, select the original bitmap image, and press P to place it at the center of the page. Then press Shift page down to send it to the back. And just like that, we have the image where we want it. But since we have the original image, we can just import and place it in the power clip. So guys, we have finally completed the flyer design. Feel free to customize the colors of the elements, wordings of the text, and icons to suit your personal taste. I hope you had fun with it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.